Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us for the great session about Spectrum Health and their journey on what they've been doing on the ServiceNow platform from the last 2+ years that we've been engaged with them. I have Matt with me here. We're just going to do a quick introduction and then we'll roll into the slides here. So quick introduction about myself, Managing Director with KPMG. I take care of our healthcare and life sciences business for ServiceNow. Have had the privilege to work with Matt and team at Spectrum for the past 2+ years that we've been doing our ServiceNow journey with them. Matt, why don't you introduce yourself?
Sure. So I'm Matt Hantel, and I am the ServiceNow architect at Beaumont Health, Spectrum Health, BHSH,
Yes.
which is now the largest healthcare company in Michigan. We had a merger sometime last year that completed towards the end of the year. And so we are 65,000 employees, 22 hospitals, 11,000 plus providers, 15,000 plus nurses. We also have a health insurance company within the system. We have 1.2 million members in that health plan. We have 7,000 employers throughout the state of Michigan that participate with our health plan, and our health plan covers 97% of the doctors in Michigan.
Awesome.
All right.
So Matt, I think as we go through our slides, I'm sure a lot of folks in the audience right now are going through their journey with ServiceNow platform. I just want to check with you, how did you guys start on the journey? What was your main objective when you guys were looking for ServiceNow as a platform?
Sure. So we, when we started this journey, we had CA products, and so we used their service management suite of tools. Interesting story, I was coming down the elevator and I ran into our account rep from CA that we used to work with many years ago. He's here for another convention, and it was just crazy to run into him. But we did everything we could with the CA suite of products, and we made that thing sing. But in order to take things to the next level in the service management space, ServiceNow very quickly became the only real option. And so we partnered with KPMG and started along that journey.
Absolutely. I think one of the things I'll highlight at the time when we started this journey for ServiceNow at Spectrum was also going through a huge transformation for Workday. So as you see, there were like multiple ERP systems that were happening. So the Workday transformation was happening for HR and other shared services organizations. So running the ServiceNow project parallel to what we did with Workday helped us a lot, making sure that we can have one user experience as we move forward.
Exactly.
So if we have to summarize, I know there's a lot on the slide on what we have done in the past 2.5 years that we've been with Spectrum. But if you look at 2020, we started, I think it was one of the knowledge conferences in 2019 where I met with Bert Smith and then like the overall platform owner at Spectrum. We started talking about ServiceNow, like what kind of benefits the platform is going to have. From there, we went into 2020 from a vision perspective to look at what would a potential roadmap for ServiceNow look like. I think that's one of the very important things that a lot of our customers are now doing, making sure that we are not just looking at what a phase 1 of the platform is going to look like, but what would be phase 2, phase 3, like how can we make a good roadmap and then see how we can implement that. So first off for us, initial implementation, IT service management processes with IT asset management with hardware and software, followed by about 3 specific processes on IT GRC with policy and compliance, risk management, and then I think one thing or two points that I will highlight, which were like our North Star as we started our journey with Spectrum, which was in conjunction with the platform owners, also with Matt and others, was our overall focus on employee experience. We wanted to make sure that employee experience is going to be front and center as we look at ServiceNow as a platform. And then the second one was our emphasis on governance, and then making sure that the foundational elements of the platform are set right so that we can scale this platform to its full potential as we move forward. So we spend a lot of time in terms of aligning our things to CSDM, the Common Services Framework. making sure that the CMDB is set right, and then also move from there into employee experience. Second stop, HR service delivery, a lot about case management, knowledge management. We also launched Employee Service Center along with HR service delivery and IT, so that there is a unified employee experience for all the employees of Spectrum, followed by virtual agent analytics from a PA perspective. On stop 3, we actually consolidated the instances. Spectrum acquired another company called as Lakeland. Spectrum has been on a acquiring spree.
A little bit, yeah.
Exactly. So we consolidated Lakeland instances, moved to APM from application portfolio management. I think that was a logical step in terms of looking at how you can extend your CSDM framework, making sure that APM can be implemented, and then service portfolio and things like that. From there, we are here on stop 4 right now, kind of implementing HR onboarding. We kicked off that project about a few weeks back, looking at different personas across the organization, including nurse practitioners and physicians and others, to bring all of that onto the platform. Few other things planned with medical device management, obviously the big Beaumont integration. Matt, do you want to talk about what are we planning with the Beaumont integration that is up on the stop later in the year?
Sure. So Beaumont Health System has a lot of great process in place in terms of ITSM and HR process, but they don't have a lot of great tools. So we're super excited to bring them into Workday and to bring them into ServiceNow. And so we've just begun those conversations and that journey that will culminate sometime next year, where everybody comes together. But it's going to be very exciting to have 65,000 employees represented within ServiceNow and getting the things that they need to do their job within that platform.
Absolutely. So I will move to the next slide here, kind of talk about the results that we have seen, Matt, over the past 2+ journey that we have done with Spectrum.
Yeah, and I was really hoping I'd have a monitor in front so I didn't have to memorize all these, but I'll just real quick go through this. So our service portal is a single portal for both IT and HR and GRC and everything. We have 38,000 searches per month that are done within that portal. Within the request space, we have 49,000 requested items every month, 34,000 incidents across the organization, and 4,000 change requests per month. This really represents just half the organization, because our Beaumont colleagues aren't yet part of this. So those numbers should probably just go up, but you can tell we're getting a lot of good use out of the platform. In our CMDB, we've got 7.8 million CIs. We honestly think that's too many, and we're trying to refine that to make sure that they're all accurate representations of hardware and software and things that are in the CMDB. But we have 142 classes that we're using, 260,000 physical assets that we're tracking, and we pull all that in through Discovery, through SCCM, through AirWatch, which is our mobile device management system, through vCenter, JAMF Pro, and a number of other integrations that we've set up. In addition to those systems, we've got Active Directory, we've got SailPoint, Workday, Splunk, Epic, which is our electronic medical record system, Microsoft Exchange, and so on and so forth. We have, within our application portfolio manager, we have 2,000 applications that we are tracking and managing. KPMG helped with that implementation as well. We have, within our HRSD space, 14,000 employee cases a month. And so this is all work that was done somewhere else with other systems, and now it's all done within ServiceNow with a direct integration to Workday. Within our GRC, within a governance, risk, and compliance, we have 180 compliance controls, 650 audit tasks, and 100 active risk issues. We have 8,000 knowledge articles, 180 getting published every month, getting revised and published, and 136,000 views every month. And then finally, the service catalog. We have 62,000. Oh, I just disappeared from the video. All right, so we have 62,000 catalog items.
So Matt, I'll stop you on that. Like, I think that number of 62,000 catalog items is a very scary number. Like, I mean, most organizations have 500 to 1,000 to maybe 1,500 catalog items. Can you talk a little bit about what's the unique way of implementation of catalog that was done at Spectrum?
Sure, absolutely. So the cool thing that we've been able to do, and leveraging the power of automation within ServiceNow, you'll see here 90% of those catalog items are entirely automated, meaning they come, they get created, they get managed, and they get retired without a human being ever doing anything. And we do that by connecting to source systems to pull in things like access or things like shared mailboxes or distribution lists within Exchange, for instance. Your organization may be like ours and have thousands of distribution lists. All of those are automatically pulled in, turned into catalog items, and can be ordered, and most importantly, can be bundled within the catalog so that when you're onboarding a person to a position and you've already onboarded several people like this person, you can pull up a bundle and very quickly order everything you need for that person in that position. And then finally, 55% of all the items are 100% fully automated in terms of fulfillment. And so no human has to get involved with actually getting that person that service. It automatically gets delivered. And so all of our software is delivered automatically, and most all of our access is also automatically delivered.
Now, I think those are pretty impressive numbers, especially the catalog setup that you guys have. So I would strongly encourage anybody who's looking to pick up a few tips about how to manage your automated catalog. I mean, definitely ping Matt and I, and then we can talk about it. So I think from here, if we go at, Matt, if you look back like 4 or 5 years back when you guys started talking about this journey and then actively started working about it 2+ years, I think what are some of the most important aspects that you think have been the most important part of the successful journey that we have had so far?
Sure. So you can't emphasize enough the power of this platform that we all have, and I think most of us are customers of ServiceNow. And like I had mentioned earlier, the CA suite of products that we had previously, we made them do all kinds of incredible things. There were a lot of disparate systems that we tied together with integrations that we built, and they were pretty cool. But ServiceNow came along and said, we got it all, and it's all in one place, and the data is all accessible. And that made all the difference in the world. And it allowed us to do a number of things that weren't possible previously, and lay the groundwork for a lot of things that are yet to come that are super exciting. One of the really, I think, important things that happened is that we partnered. We got hooked up with KPMG at some point. I personally, and dealing with some of the big consulting firms, personally had a bad experience with a project that we worked on a few years ago, and so I was like, well, I don't know about this big, consulting firm coming in to help us, and it was just within a couple meetings and meeting Piyush and his team that I realized they know this stuff inside and out. Like, this is somebody I can learn from, not only Piyush but his team, and we've been able to not only continue our internal development, but we've been able to leverage KPMG's development resources. So as we go through these bigger projects, and HR onboarding is a perfect example of that. We're going through that project right now. It's a massive undertaking, and so his team is working with our HR colleagues to define everything that they do, typically manually across the board, and seeing where we can bring that into ServiceNow and where we can automate it. And so having KPMG as a partner, and I'm not just trying to, not trying to make Piyush feel better, but honestly, we've gotten so much more done because we have a partner. We can say, you know what, this chunk of work, we can't take this on because we got this other 12 things. KPMG, please do this, and we've gotten great results from that.
Absolutely. Thanks, Matt, for the kind words there. So I think a couple of other things I'll emphasize that were really important for this success was our emphasis on organizational change management. I think that's a very critical piece. I mean, yes, we can transform on process and technology, but ultimately it's about people. People are going to use the system. They are going to be the front and center from a transformation standpoint. The other important aspect was our approach on agile and safe. So the entire project was run in agile fashion, making sure that we have 2-week sprints, like show me session and other things are happening at the end of it. Last but not the least, program governance. I think making sure that you have emphasis on governance as you go through the platform. You have emphasis on roadmap. You have emphasis on operating model. After go live, how is this platform going to be structured and managed? How many resources do you need? Because it's a big platform, like what kind of distributed model you have on the platform as more departments come in, like HR and supply chain and procurement. Is development going to be centralized? It's going to be distributed, those kind of things. So I think that's a pretty important aspect for success from a program perspective. And we just got the 5-minute timer there.
Yeah.
What I will do is, the slides are going to be available. Key takeaways as we talk about digital transformation realized by people. Emphasis on road mapping, define your vision, and then get your foundations right. I think that emphasis on CSDM, making sure that from the start we were looking at getting our foundational data right, that helped a lot as we scale the platform as well. Matt, anything else to add on our journey so far?
I'm just excited to see where we go from here. We've been able to do some amazing things, and I think we've just scratched the surface, to be honest with you. So I'm excited.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for this session. Matt and I, we're going to stick around for a few minutes. If there are any questions, we're more than happy to take those questions right now.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.